Hi, welcome everybody. I'm Tom from MASALAKRAUT, and we have another interview with another cast member of Max Minimiyazaki, and I think she's my favorite cast member in this one. I really liked her a lot,
I'm so glad. Thank you.
and yeah, we will talk about her career and how did she get into acting, and what other interesting facts we can tickle out of her. And yeah, it's none other than Vidhatri Bandi. Welcome.
I'm so happy that you pronounced my name right. Otherwise, it's always like I'm very nervous. Okay, how is this person going to pronounce my name? Because it is a very unusual name, but you did a good job. So
Thank you, thank you. I had some practice. I was like, how do I say this name?
it was perfect. It was perfect.
Yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Sorry, what was the question? I got very carried away with the way you pronounced my name, but yeah, your question.
Yeah, so first off, I mean, as you have seen maybe in the interview with Siddharth Menon, we had a little rapid fire question intro. And we're gonna go do that. So you get on your toes, and after that you can relax, and we talk about you, which is probably easier than these hard hitting questions. But you'll do all right. Don't worry. Don't worry.
I hope. I hope.
All right. There's five of them, and if you've watched closely the other interview, you will probably know them and can already answer. But here we go. What's your favorite cinema that you like to go to?
Favorite cinema, as in the genre, or like
No, your favorite cinema is you like to go and sit and watch a movie.
theaters? I mean, like,
Yeah,
yeah,
theaters. Yeah, which
yeah,
which
theater.
theater?
PVR, Andheri.
All right, perfect. Your favorite seat in the cinema?
Right in the center. It has to be in the center and right in
Any
the.
row?
No, it can't be. I don't want it too close to the screen, but right in the center. Maybe.
Center.
Yeah, center for sure. Yeah, and it has
All
to
right,
be
all
in the
right.
middle, like center and the middle.
Okay. Then I guess you have to fight with Siddharth for the seats then, because he said the same.
Oh yeah, it's a must.
I have to say I like to sit a little back, to be honest. Like,
Really?
you know, like a little further, because I have checked out, by the way, there is an interview where, for example, Christopher Nolan says these are the seats where I sit to adjust the screen and the audio for my movies in IMAX, for example.
Oh, I think
And
I
that's
think I saw that. Did he recently?
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. I saw that. Yeah.
I saw that. Yeah.
And I know from a friend of mine, because like a good friend of mine, he is the general manager at the IMAX, and he told me where the IMAX technician said when he was doing all the setup for the cinema. So I know, it's in the fifth row, people. So yeah, if you're in Berlin at the IMAX, fifth row, that's where the technician sat in the middle.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, okay.
I saw that video. Yeah, I saw that. I remember it very clearly.
See, all right, this is important things, because this is how you're supposed to watch it.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep that in mind now. Yeah, I will.
Great. All right, your favorite theater snack?
My favorite. Oh, snack. Okay. Popcorn.
Popcorn. Okay. What drink goes with it?
I like cold coffee. I mean, I know it's not healthy, but I love it. Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Trailers or no trailers?
Trailers for sure.
All right. And original or dubbed?
Original.
Okay, perfect. Then we're through with it. Was it that hard? No.
Oh, okay. Fine. That's great. Okay.
That's the first round. That's the easy round.
Ah, okay, cool.
But yeah, now let's talk about you. I've seen at least one movie of yours. I heard about multiple movies or TV shows that you've done, so that's really interesting. And you are coming. There's a project coming up in the future at the end of the year, right? So we will talk about that as well. But let's go a little bit chronological. I wanted to know what was the first movie that you have seen, or what was the first movie that got you interested into acting?
So I've wanted to become an actor ever since I was a kid. Like I think I was 6 or 7 years old. I'm not sure. And I used to watch a lot of movies with my dad. He used to be this really big movie buff, and he used to show me a lot of movies of this legendary actress called Devi. Yeah, so I have grown up watching her movies, and there's this one film of hers called Shanak Shanam, which is directed. Performance in that film, I remember obsessing about her character and that movie for so many days that I would go and tell my dad that I want to do what this lady is doing. Like I want to do what she's doing. And then I think like my father, literally a year later, he was like, actors do that. Actors do that. And I'm like, okay, that's what I want to be. I want to be an actor.
How was he? How was he about it? I mean, because I know from my girlfriend that she said like Indian parents want their kids to be doctors, lawyers, engineers. Like how does a creative job go over with the family?
Honestly, my father, considering like, he was such a movie, like a huge movie buff, he was kind of okay with it. And he was also a writer. He used to write a lot.
Ah,
So
okay.
initially, like, when I was a kid, when I would say that I want to become an actor, he thought that, oh, I'm just, like being funny. I'm just being a kid, like I didn't know much. But
How
as
old were you, by the way? I'm sorry. How
I
old
was
were you?
7. I was 7 years
Okay.
old. Yeah. So, but like as I grew up, I became a lot more certain about it, and I told him that no, this is something that I really, really like doing. Like I want to do this, and yeah, he never tried to change it. He, in fact, like he was really supportive about it, and both my parents, not just my father, even my mom. Like till date, when I get any audition, my mom's the most excited one. Helping me figure out what to wear and all of that. She's like super, hands on with that. So they've both, luckily, touch wood, they've been very, very supportive. Yeah.
That's very good. I mean, you got to have that support, especially when you want to, like when you start out, especially. I mean, if you made it, everybody's supportive, but but
So yeah.
especially in the beginning. So
And I feel like it makes a huge difference when you have that kind of support, like a huge difference. Because like it is very difficult to survive in this industry. And when you get that kind of unconditional support from your family, it it's really helpful. It does wonders.
and how was it like? Did you start out going to theater, or was it directly movies that you wanted to do, or like how did you get your in basically?
So I started off with being an assistant director. So I started ADing on a lot of films, and after that, I went to UCLA. I went to study because I did like I think 2 films. I worked as an AD on 2 films, and then after that, my father was like, funny story. Although like I always wanted to become an actor, I was just never confident. I thought that I'm not cut out to be an actor because I was never really on stage. I never really did anything in front of the camera. So I was always very conscious and underconfident. And my father made sure that like you need to go out there, explore the world, you need to learn, you need to be around a bunch of kids, like do the work. And UCLA has like been my dream school. So I told him that if I want to study, then I want to go to that university, or it's fine, like I'm just going to be in this city and like figure something out.
Yeah.
And I applied for this course called the Professional Programs in Acting for Camera in UCLA. And I think around like 1,200 students, I got picked. And there were like 35 kids who got picked. And I was one of them. And yeah, like, and then I went to UCLA. I studied there for like almost 2 years. I collaborated with a lot of theater actors, my classmates. We did like a pilot, we shot a pilot. And, like, after doing all of that, like my confidence kind of like, okay, this is something that I can do. I got like really good recommendation letters, like from almost all my professors. And I got to do a scene with Jennifer Aniston. So, like,
Hey.
yeah, so it was a great experience as an actor for me in UCLA. And then when I came back, I started like auditioning properly. Like, I was very like consistent. I would often reach out to people, the casting directors and all of that. And then yeah, like that's just how my journey started, just like any other struggling actor, to be honest. Yeah.
How was the difference? Because there's always this I wouldn't say clash, but if you are into movies and you enjoy watching movies and making movies, you all know about the Western movies. But a lot of people that I have met from India, for example, they are in their role. I mean, the Indian movie industry is really big with totally different facets in all the places. But how is it compared? Like you could have gone to acting school in India, but you chose UCLA. How is this culture? I call it culture clash.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was very different. It was very, very different, and I feel like it took me a year just to understand the industry in LA because it's so different than in India. But I think for me, it was. I know that the department in the UCLA, like it had a really good theater group, which like I followed that school for like a very, very long time. And it's honestly something that I wanted to do. It was not like, oh, because it's UCLA or it's LA or it's international. It was not that. It's just that it had a very, a great theater group which I wanted to, experience. And but honestly, like I did have a chance to, like extend my visa and work there for a couple of months. But I chose to come back. It's because I wanted to have my career here in the Indian film industry. Like I wanted to work here. Obviously, like I wanted to gain my knowledge there. And it was also because my father was all about like, I want you to be independent. Like I want you to go there. I want you to live on your own. I want you to earn, like it's just something that, he told me that I think that shape you up. It'll help you grow. And it
Yeah.
did. I think my entire experience in UCLA, it just changed me as
I
a person.
I feel you. I've been there myself, so I know.
Yeah,
I
and
know.
I feel like, when you live with your parents, it's a completely different experience. But when you step out of the house, I feel like there is a lot of character build up, because there's so many
Yeah.
challenges that come in front of you that you wouldn't normally do, right? So I feel
Yeah.
like UCLA helped me even figure that out about myself. Like, okay, is
Yeah,
this,
exactly. I mean, I had an exchange here as a high school student when I was 16 in the States. So I've been there, and then after that, I think I moved out right after school, like when I was like 19, and moved to Berlin to study. So I've been away from the parents for quite some time.
yeah, it's definitely life changing for sure. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. And I would definitely like, for example, as in my day job as a teacher, I tell my students, if you have the chance, do an exchange here, because this is something, this is an experience of a lifetime,
Yeah.
and I would definitely do it again if anybody would ask me if I want to do it.
And I had like three jobs there. I used to work at a coffee shop. I used to work as a nanny. I used to work as an usher. So like all these experiences, which I know that I wouldn't have had here, So yeah, it was great.
How does it come together in terms of the Indian movie industry? Because there's some things like from the perspective of Masala that we are doing with the movie screenings and trying to get in touch with actors on I would say on a more of an indie level. It is fairly easy to get in touch and get interviews like these, for example. But if the people get bigger, it is compared to when I look, because I have done big movie stars interviews before. This is like like big like Ryan Reynolds, for example. That was a fun one, and so that was really cool. It was only like 5 minutes, but it's fine. But but like for example. When it comes to Indian actors, because we try to get one interview and it was it almost happened, but then the studio or somebody said, or management said, yeah, how much money do you want to pay us? And I was
What
like, yeah, they basically, if you want to do interviews, that's why I found like very like curious, because this is not the way how it is in the Western world, especially not in Germany. But they ask you, if you want to do an interview, yeah, you gotta pay us so and so much, and then you can do the interview. It's like, okay, interesting.
This is the first time I'm hearing of that.
Oh yeah, if we can on the off we can talk about it.
Yeah, okay, yeah, but I don't think so that happens. But if it's
Okay.
happened, I mean, I'm sure like it's happened with you, but I've never heard of anything like that ever for interviews. I mean, like I think actors like us, especially here, like we wait to we get noticed and work to get noticed, and we always are like waiting to talk about it. So I don't know why anybody would ask you money for that,
But
but
I think it's like the bigger ones, like
okay, the bigger ones as well. I mean,
but
I've never heard of that.
But I just wonder, because like at the end of the day, we want to promote a movie that is big in India. We want to promote it in the different parts of the world.
Right.
And why would you not give an interview to somebody who promotes your movies? I didn't understand that, but okay.
I'm not understanding that either. Like now you're telling me, like I'm quite like surprised myself because I've never heard of anything like that before. But
But yeah, anyways,
yeah,
I wanted to know, have you seen ever any German movies in your life?
I have not. My sister lived in Berlin for 3 years, and she
She
has watched.
did?
Yes, she's watched a lot of movies. No, wait, not 3 years. I think a year. I'm not sure because my sister's traveled. Like she's traveled a lot. She's
Okay,
lived in like
okay.
different
But
cities.
she's
So I'm
not
not
here anymore, is she?
She's not there anymore. She's in London right now. But she did have a
Oh, okay.
job in Germany for I think a year or two. I'm not sure. But yeah, she's watched a couple of Germany movies, and she's always been like, please watch, please watch.
Interesting.
I haven't watched any of
Yeah,
those.
that would have been something funny. Then I guess you would have been there at the festival then if your sister would have still been
Yeah,
here.
oh yes, my sister would have definitely come. She's in fact going because Max Miyazaki is playing in London.
Yes.
Yeah, so she's going for that. My
Awesome.
father and my sister, they both were in Berlin a few years ago. My
Oh, okay.
at Berlin, yeah, yeah. My father spoke such good things about that city. Like he loves Berlin.
Yeah, you better come and visit now.
I will, I will.
Perfect. Okay. So what would you say? Where do you draw your inspiration for your acting from? Is there anything that
In
you think?
21 hours,
Sorry, my laptop just. Sorry. Okay. Sorry. Where do I get the inspiration from? Honestly, for me, I watch a lot of old movies, like classics. So I yeah, so like my all-time favorites, Sri Devi, Savitri, they're all like South actresses and they're legends, and they're so good at what they do. And every time like I get lost, every time I feel like okay, there's something that I'm not able to do, I just go and watch the work of my favorite artists. Like any movie, there's a movie that I've watched like maybe 100 times, I will go back to it, I'll watch it because it just centers me, like it brings me back to like, okay, I know that this is what I'm here to do, and honestly, when it comes to inspiration, I feel like our industry, we're constantly in survival mode, every day, like every day we're struggling, every day we're trying to find a job. So my content on Instagram, if you see like my search history on YouTube, I'm constantly watching roundtables of like different actors. I'm watching their journeys. I watch, like how hard they have worked for like particular characters, their homework, their effort. Like this is what I do on daily basis. So like I don't actively go out there looking for inspiration. This is just something that I do every day. So like it's very natural. It's like this is the content I consume like on daily basis. So, but yes, when I get a certain character, like for example, Carol in Max Miyazaki is so different than I am. Like it's a very very different character.
So you're
But
not
when
a cat lady.
I'm not a cat lady. That'll come as a surprise to you, but I'm not. Uh, but yeah, when I was playing Carol, I lost my father 2 weeks before I started working on that film.
I'm sorry.
So there was a lot of grief that I was already dealing with, and plus even Carol, like her character in the film, like she's lost her parents when she was a kid. She's a young divorcee. Her grandmother's suffering from Alzheimer's disease. So I used whatever I was going through. I used all of that, when I was playing Carol. So for me, I look at that as inspiration, like whatever I was going through in my life, like I just incorporated that to the character. And yeah, and at the end, when I finished shooting for the film, if you'd asked me then, okay, like, how did you play Carol? I had no memory. Like I had no memory. There was so much going on in my mind at that time. But today when I look back, I found that inspiring. Like I used my grief, in some way, and I turned it into art, and I did what I could. So like
Yeah.
every time with every project, for me, acting is just living. It's listening, it's observing, it's learning every single day. That's just how I look at it. So
Okay. I was wondering on is there a certain approach you have to roles, or is that basically to cover what you just said?
as in I didn't catch that.
As in your approach to acting in general.
Yeah.
Like, is it the same as you just described it for this character, or is it like do you have it different for every character?
I have it different for every character. Every character.
Okay.
Like, I mean, the film that I just wrapped up, I'm playing a very intimidating officer, you know?
Okay.
So, and I had lived, I was shooting in Chandigarh, Amritsar. So I was there for 2 months, and I was just noticing, like, so I was playing a Punjabi, like a really intimidating hatta katta Punjabi girl. So I was noticing and observing all Punjabi women around me. They're so powerful and they're like so intimidating. So when I get a particular character, I like to design that in my head. I first think of like, okay, this is what I want to do with the character. This is how I want to play it. And then yeah, I spend a lot of time with the director discussing it. Like if you watch Jalsa, whenever you watch it, Rohini I was playing a Jyoti.
It's on Amazon, people. So if you even in Germany, so if you have the chance, go watch it.
Yes. So for that also, like my director made me do a presentation. He told me like, I want you to make a presentation, and I want you to get reference pictures of how you want your character to look, how you want her to sound, how you want her to, if she has a particular accent or anything. And I loved that experience. Is because when I was making that presentation, I just like threw everything in my head out there. I'm like, okay, this is what I want to do.
It's like a
And
mood board, right?
yeah. And he let me do it. Usually, like actors don't do mood boards, but my director made me do that. He's like, I want you to make a presentation and I want you to show me your vision of your character. And so I think like it also has a lot to do with the director, because you get to work with such different directors. So I love to go with the flow, like working with Paddy in Max and Miyazaki
Yeah.
was so different. It was a whole new experience for me. There were a lot of times he just gave me the freedom to like, okay, you know what, just do it this way. Or certain times he would be like, no, this is exactly how I want it. So it's also got to do with like a lot with the directors, like how they want it, how they want you to play it. So I try to gauge that first and then I go.
Yeah. How is that from the perspective of you being an assistant director and you having worked in a talent agency? How does it factor in for your acting?
So I worked as an assistant director only to understand the technical part of it, like how sets work in general. So like today as an actor, like for example, when I used to work as an AD, I knew that like okay, a delay is happening because of this. We got to make this actor wait for 5 hours because this is what is happening on set. So as an AD, you get to see all of that. You get to witness what's actually happening on set. So when I go today as an actor, when I'm being asked to wait for 6 hours, I don't stress about it. I don't react because I know that okay, you know what? This is what probably must be happening, because you know so much about the set, you know so much about the technical bit that I feel like that really prepares you as an actor. So I till date, like I owe so much to my AD career, like whatever I learned from my evening days, it helps me till date. Like when I'm on set, I know, okay, you know what, this is where the camera is going to be placed. So this is where I need to, sometimes even without the director telling me, I know it. I know like what is happening. So I think like that technical knowledge definitely helps you.
Yeah, I have to say I'm also kind of like that, like I have to know what is going on behind the scenes so I can be more chill and see, so I can understand basically.
Yeah.
It's an understanding, yeah.
And a lot of people actually will see a lot of ADs come up to me and they'll be like, oh, we never see you, like fretting about anything. You're like really chill, you're really calm. It's because like sets are my home, like I've been doing this for so many years. I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's nothing. I know that why I'm being asked to like wait for 7 hours. I know why this delay is happening. Like I know that. So it's very chill that way.
That's great. So I would like to shake it up a little bit and do another 5 rapid fire questions. Are you ready?
Okay, yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, take you out of your comfort zone right there.
Okay.
Okay, first one. Favorite director?
Christopher Nolan.
All right. Favorite film poster?
Favorite film poster? Oh, Dark Knight.
All right. Christopher Nolan again.
Yeah, sorry, you're talking to a huge Christopher Nolan fanatic. I'm just
See
giving you a
that?
heads up that it's all going to be Nolan if you ask me.
That's why you knew about the video. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Do you have a favorite dance or dance choreography from a movie?
Devdas, Dola Re Dola.
Okay.
By Benny. Yeah.
I thought it's going to be Channing Tatum and Step Up.
No.
No.
I still obsess over that. I don't know if you watched Devdas. Did you watch Devdas?
No.
Devdas? Please watch it and watch the song Dola Re Dola. The choreography is done by Vaibhavi Merchant, a very renowned dancer in the Bollywood industry. I literally just blanked out on the word choreographer in the Bollywood industry.
Yeah.
Really, really good. And that song still gets me when I watch it. I'm just like amazed. So yeah, that choreography.
I have to say, I liked a lot the choreography from Vikram Vedha, the Hindi version with Hrithik Roshan, Alcoholia. That was really nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Loved that. That was a fun song, and he was fun in it. And I really liked the what was it called? I forgot the name, but this was the original Alu Ajan Shahzada movie.
Yes, Allah Vaikuntapuram.
Yes, exactly. The title I cannot pronounce, but
Which
hey.
song? Because I'm Telugu. I watched that film in Telugu.
Oh, there you go. It was the scene where was it just like Italian village type of thing?
With the chicken?
Was it the chicken? I think the chicken was in there, but he was doing some moves on the wall. I remember that. Yeah.
Is it towards the end where he's going to save?
No, I think it's in the middle,
It's in the middle? Oh.
but I'm not sure.
I mean,
I think it was that one. But yeah. It was good. He knows the steps. He knows how to dance. That's pretty
Yeah,
good.
he's a really good dancer. He's a really
Yeah. Next up is your favorite song for a movie or score, even if you like.
My favorite. This is such an unfair question. This is such an this is really hard.
What's
You
the? Yeah, I know. Do the first one that pops into your mind.
can't- There's so many popping in my mind right now.
But what was the first one?
Wait. A favorite song in the Bollywood industry or just like a favorite song?
Anywhere you could also like favorite score, like for like I don't know. I would say for me it is the bipolar sunset from Star Wars.
For me, it's the
Binary sunset.
Netflix Crown. Netflix, the background score of the that show. That I absolutely love the background score of that show. Yeah, it would be that.
All right, there you go. And last but not least, I told you before, favorite movie quote. Can also be in Hindi, Telugu, whatever you want.
Me? Okay. So I like this quote a lot, but I'm not sure if I'm going to like word it right. It's a Spider-Man quote about that, like with great power comes great responsibility. I love
All right.
that.
Perfect. Yeah, I mean, that's a classic. Have you seen the new Spider-Man, by the way?
I haven't. Like I love the old Spider-Man so much. Like
Okay. But the Spider-Verse one, the animated one.
I'm not.
Go watch it. It's like this really great. That's peak Spider-Man right there.
Okay.
And they have like in the second part, in the second animated one, they have the latest. They have even Mumbai Hatton, which is like a future version of Mumbai. Looks like Manhattan, basically with big bridges and stuff. And there's the Peter Parker was Parvik Parker or something like that. And yeah, something like that. But I'm not 100% sure on the name, or Parvit or something like that. But yeah, he's like in this universe, he is the Spider-Man, the Indian Spider-Man. So it's like really cool.
I'll watch it. I'll definitely watch it.
It's really cool, and this is my favorite part. Like where they are in Mumbai Hatton, it's like really they did like really good job designing the city and like giving that feel. It's like really good stuff.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, okay, we're through. That wasn't too
I
hard.
wasn't that bad. I wasn't that. But my first rapid fire round, I wasn't that bad. Okay.
Yeah, see, you did good. You did good. All
I
right,
could have done better, but I'm happy with this. It's fine.
take two. I had with Adil. Oh my god, I messed up with
I
like
love
with.
that video. Oh, I love that interview so much with Mr. Adil. Like he was.
Thank you.
Lovely.
Yeah, he's lovely as always. And like in the beginning, we did. I think we recorded like 23 minutes, and then I realized, oh, why is the mic not picking anything up? And then I realized, oh no, and then we had to do the interview again. So,
Oh.
but yeah, it was fine.
I absolutely love that man, but it's unfortunate I never had any scenes with him in the film. Like,
Oh yeah, that's true. I was thinking, did you have contact?
no,
with him?
I didn't have any scenes with him. I wish to work with him someday. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's great. So I definitely like would hope you get to work with him because he's such a delight human being. Yeah, speaking of Max Minimiyazaki, I was wondering. I'm going to give you first. Since Siddharth gave you a question, so yeah.
Siddharth gave me a question. Okay. Got it.
Yeah. He's asking: is your acting process similar to your process of relishing food?
Yes.
Can you explain? Can you explain a little bit here?
Siddharth, oh God. Okay, so I'm a huge foodie. Now that you are following me on Instagram, I'm all about the food. Like you will see me, cooking something, putting stuff up. Like I think even the content that I consume on Instagram, it's mostly just cooking
Right.
videos.
That's how you
That's what
do.
I do all day. And the reels that Siddharth and I send each other also, like this new restaurant that has opened close to our house, or like some new cuisine. That's what we're like constantly sharing with each other. But yeah, like I'm a huge foodie. So for me, food is like I live to eat. I don't eat to live, you know?
Nice.
So yeah, so I think that's why he's asked me that question. But yes, it is very similar. Like just the way I take my food so seriously. For me, like my process and everything related to acting when I'm building a character, it's the same. Yeah. So
There you go.
funny.
Life is like food. But yeah,
Okay.
that's a very good question. Is it? Is like speaking of food, because I heard also this is you're not the only set. I guess you didn't have the chance though, because I heard from that Adil Hussein is a very good cook, and he made a lot of nice food for the people on set. And I think on the other movie he worked on, that was in a festival, Footprints on Water, there was the of the director, Natalia Siem, her wedding anniversary was happening while they were filming, and Adil cooked the whole meal. Really, really nice. So he's a very good cook, I heard.
Okay.
And so yeah, I was wondering, do you have anything on set that you really enjoyed, or did you cook for everybody?
I actually I did not cook because when I'm shooting, especially like I have a very strict routine. I wake up at 4 in the morning and I have like my stuff going on, so I don't really venture into cooking and stuff. But my mother actually made she made her Andhra delicacy, like mutton mango curry and some pachadis. Pachadis means chutneys, Indian chutneys, yeah. So I took some food from home for sure, which Siddharth and everybody loved, and they still talk about it. But yeah, so I don't usually cook and go, but I cook a lot at home. Like I cook almost like every day. I cook my own food and I eat. So
Okay,
yeah.
okay, okay. And did anything happen behind the scenes, like something you like want to share, like a funny story or something that was really interesting that the people should know about Max Minimiyazaki?
So funny story. So yeah, I am allergic to cats.
Oh,
For
you are allergic actually to cats. Oh my God, that's why you're not a cat lady. Now I know.
yeah. So I would be popping like an allergy pill literally every 3 to 4 hours because when I'm around like any animal like cat or a dog for like more than 2 3 hours, I fall terribly sick.
Yeah,
So
hold up 1 second, because we should let the people know, because they probably have not seen the movie yet. You in your movie, you're Carol, who is basically a cat sitter on the side, and she gives grief to her counterpart, played by Siddharth Menon, like calling him out, "Hey, you take steroids because you have a cat allergy," and here the real life story is happening. Okay, so
I was getting to that scene
okay, there you
actually.
go.
Yeah, but yeah, so I was the one who was actually taking steroids throughout this shoot because yeah, I am allergic to cats. Yeah, and
Okay, but
dogs. Like I can't do fur in general.
okay. But it wasn't that bad because, like, I don't know. It's like, because this was been like, isn't this dangerous set?
Yeah, I mean, no, I mean the thing is like I would only be around the cat when I had scenes with the
Ah,
cat,
okay.
but rest of the times like they made sure that like they kept the cat away from me. Yeah,
Nice,
like,
nice,
I don't know if
nice.
you remember this one scene, but I was holding all these cats together. I put them on the
Yeah, I
table.
remember. Yeah.
Phone call. Oh yeah, that I was so nervous about that because there was this one point where something went inside my nose, and I was very close to getting a sneeze attack, and I'm like, that's it. We're gonna pack up today. But it didn't happen. I was like, okay, good, yeah. The stars will align that day for me. But
Crazy, crazy. But yeah,
yeah.
that's a very, very good fact to know. When I watch the movie again, I will, like, I will definitely take a look
I
closer to
watched
that.
it the whole time, yeah.
Yeah. I was wondering because, like, I mean, we got the Miyazaki reference in the title. Are you a Studio Ghibli fan?
I actually started watching all Miyazaki films because of Paddy. He made me.
Yeah.
So I watched a couple of films.
Which ones? Which ones did you watch?
I Okay, I'm terrible with names, but if you pick out some titles, I'll be able to remember. I'll be able to tell you which one I watched.
Okay, Mononoke.
No, there's
Uh,
one. There is one where this little girl who lives in
Spirited
a
Away.
castle with her parents.
Yeah, Spirited
Yes,
Away.
I watched that. And there's another one that I watched.
Chihiro is her name.
Her
You
name was
watched probably Kiki's Delivery Service, because
yes,
that's Patty's favorite. Yeah.
yes. I watched these movies. Yeah, yeah, right. So like,
So yeah. Yeah, they're
I'm
great.
very
I mean,
bad. I'm giving you a heads up. So if you ask me anything related to like, okay, name this, I'll be like, okay, I'm just gonna like go off.
yeah. Oh, and here I thought we're gonna do a Bollywood movie quiz.
Yeah, maybe I can try that. I can try that. But yeah, international movies, I'm like terrible. I just cannot remember the names. Very bad at
Yeah,
that. But yeah.
it's all good. It's all good. I have a good name memory basically because like after school I have to know all the students. That
Yeah, right.
helps. I got practice. I got practice.
Yeah.
Alrighty. What I want to know, I mean, the movie is really great, won at the Indo-German Film Week, and you are in it, and you have a great part. And as I said in the beginning, you are one of my favorite characters. I love the cheekiness, this happy, friendly cheekiness that you brought to this character, and always teasing and being funny, and like like you said, it's like your approach is always different, but like how much of this personality of yourself is in Carol?
So, see, for me, Carol is a badass. Like the way I look at her, she's very bold. She's all of that. So I don't have all of that for sure. I mean, I do consider myself a badass sometimes. I think like in certain situations, but Carol is like, she's a badass all the time. I feel like she's just that's just how she is. Um, but yeah, I think like the teasing is something that I could relate with. I could do that is because that's what I do with my guy friends. I have like my childhood best friends. I've known them like since forever, so I have that kind of a relationship with my best friend. So like I'm constantly teasing him. We're both always. So I kind of took that from my relationship with him. With Siddharth's character in Maximilian Miyazaki. But like I said, like the other parts where there's a scene where like I think I ended my relationship and then I come to Siddharth's house and then, like I'm crying, 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 crying. Sorry, I'm laughing, laughing, laughing. And then it transitions into like this, like I start crying. All
Yeah.
those elements where I had to like subtly cry, where I had to do all of that was my grief. Like I literally, took a lot of parts from like what was happening with me internally, into the character. But the fun elements, of course, Paddy would always tell me how he would want it, the tonality of it, everything. Like he would guide me. He would tell me this is what I want. But yeah, like I would take, a lot of the stuff from my relationship with my best friend and use it here. So yeah,
I have to
that's
say, I was rooting the whole time for you guys. So I was like in the beginning, I was like, and then when Siddharth went back and like had was meeting with Min again, I was like, no, you fool, don't do it. But I was like, it was
Well,
really
no,
funny. So
I've got so many DMs about, like the same thing that people are saying that, we were rooting, we wanted both of you to be together. And I'm like, oh, that's so sweet. That's really sweet.
yeah, you made a great couple on screen for sure.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I want to come away a little bit from the movie, and I want to talk about the industry itself. Because I was, as people who have known the Indian movie industry, it is very male centric. So I wanted to know from your perspective, how do you perceive the industry? I mean, it was probably worse. I'd say worse back when, and it is probably different now. But how is it for you and coming up in that industry?
Yeah, it was very, very difficult. And I feel like it is still to an extent a male centric industry, but I can definitely see the change. And I feel there are a lot more paths written for us, which I really appreciate. So like now when I see a lot of OTT content, I see a lot of films, I just I don't see characters, especially for females, where like they are like being an eye candy.
Yeah,
They're
what's the
too
show called? The Flamingo show one?
yeah, Saas Bahu and Flamingo. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Show is
haven't seen it yet, but I really want to because it sounds
it's
really cool.
incredible. Like, I mean, that entire story, that entire show is based on these three badass women, and I feel like that is definitely changing. We still have a long way to go, but there is definitely change. And I think for me, so far, uh, I mean, more than having an issue or, like facing that male centric problem, I think what I suffer the most with is social media. That is something that I think actors like us, we really struggle with. It's because I cannot even begin to tell you the amount of parts I've lost because I'm not famous. I don't have a million followers.
Yeah,
And I always come like on top two, top three, and I don't get considered because I don't have a lot of followers. So
Yeah, I
I
mean,
think,
this marketing, the marketing aspect is like, it's sad. It's sad, but it's
but the
sad
interesting thing
reality.
is, I'll tell you, I've noticed that in the beginning, like that would really affect me a lot, but it doesn't affect me that much now because I feel when somebody is focusing on that aspect that they want actors with a lot of followers, they don't have confidence in the script. Because the kind of people I got to work with, like
Makes
Paddy for
sense.
that matter, or Jalsa, or in fact, funny thing, when I auditioned for Jalsa, there was another known famous actor that was locked for my part. I mean, shortlisted for my part.
Yeah,
The director went ahead with me because he liked my audition. I
nice.
didn't have a million followers, So I realized that I'm also getting to work with these kind of directors who don't care about any of that. But a lot of them, there are a lot of people who care about this. So I feel more than the male centric bit, which is definitely changing in the industry, and I'm really proud of that. But I also want to say that we still have a long way to go.
Yeah.
I feel like social media and this obsession of like, oh, you know what, you need to have followers, you need to have views, you need to have traction, all of that affects actors like us because look, for example, like I look at Instagram as a pure medium of just entertainment. I go there, I scroll, I'm seeing like cooking videos, like workout videos, all of that. I don't want to make that app my work. I don't want to become an actor who's getting a job because I'm big on Instagram. And there are many actors who are like me. And I feel like that is where we are struggling.
And it's also weird because like when you look at it from a different perspective, that if you have actors, like
Yeah.
especially older ones, who don't even know how to use Instagram and like the use of it, but obviously they have the followers, but it's like totally weird.
Yeah, I feel like right now the biggest problem is that it's like social media. I feel like right now,
Okay.
and I mean, I don't want to speak for everybody else, but that is what I'm currently facing. It's only because I've not got a lot of projects, only because, like, oh, now of course my account is verified. But before that, like, I just wouldn't, I would be shortlisted for like really big projects, but I wouldn't get it because, like, oh, I'm not known or I don't have followers or like, yeah.
Okay, okay. And how do you know the aspect of it behind the camera, basically? Because like when I read it, I mean obviously can't tell every name, which could be female or male, but like if you read through, I would say like 75% is at least male.
Yes. Yeah, that happens. Yeah. Yeah. There are very few shows where, like, I mean, there's a show called FOMO Shots with just like girls, and then like you mentioned Sas Bahu and Flamingo, and then there's another show called Human on Chef Ali Shah. That was again like these two powerful female characters,
Yeah,
like
Delhi Crimes as well, Yeah.
Delhi Crime. Yeah, so like you have all of these shows, but then yeah, majority of them it's like male centric, and then you have like a couple of
Yeah, but yeah, coming back to that, like, but how's it
yeah.
behind the camera in terms of like how's the
Behind the
directors
camera,
and
sorry.
stuff like
Behind
that?
the camera, honestly, the projects that I worked on, yes, there are a lot of men, but it's very surprising for me when I see a female cinematographer, like female boom person. In Max Miyazaki, for the first time, I saw a female sound designer.
There you go.
So like yeah, so it is definitely changing, but yeah, like majority of the times it is men. Like you'll see most of the staff members and crew members and all, they're all men. Yeah, that's still there. But again, like I said, it's definitely changing for sure. Like in all my films, in Jalsa, like I saw a lot of female camera assistants, which
Yeah.
I didn't see before. Max Miyazaki, female sound designer, and so yeah, that was really refreshing for me to see. But like you said, you pointed that out, right? That mostly they're men. Yeah, even behind the camera.
All right, but it's good to hear that that the industry is changing and people of all kinds of like backgrounds and whatever get their fair shot at
Yeah.
things. That's very important. All right. Then my basically last question for you would be, what's happening? I mean, we teased already. There's something coming. Is there a title you want to give us? Titles or anything, or like, and what else? Maybe give us something. What can we know? I mean, I know there are NDAs and stuff. So, but hey.
So I do have a film coming called The Diplomat, and it has got a stellar cast. I can't take the list. I can't take the name of the A-listers, but we have like really good actors like Sharab Hashmi, Kumud Mishra, and all of that. And I'm playing one of the primary characters in the film.
Is
It's
that?
based.
But it's not based on like. Is that a remake or something? Because like
No,
there was
it's
this
a
TV
show.
show called The Diplomat, right?
Yeah, there is a TV show called The Diplomat, but this is a
Yeah.
feature
Okay.
film when that
Okay.
happened. And yeah, I shot for it for like around 30 days, and I'm finally done. And I think it's going to come end of the year. But I can't talk much about it. But yeah, that's going to come end of the year. Yeah.
Awesome. Anything else you can say, or is that it?
I'm actually waiting for Maximilian Miyazaki to come. We're all waiting. I have a lot of people, like, I get so many messages like, when is this film going to come to India? When is it releasing? So I'm actually waiting for this film to come out. But apart from that, no, I honestly don't have much. I'm still auditioning and trying to get more gigs. Yeah.
Awesome, but that's good to hear. I mean, it is a grind sometimes, and sometimes you're lucky to be on set. So that's very good. And yeah, Max Minimiyazaki should hopefully come soon in India.
If you want to know the funny story, I've not watched the film.
Oh, I think we talked about it.
Yes,
Was it, somebody else? Was it you or even somebody else didn't watch the film yet? So I was like,
no, it's me. It's me. I haven't watched it because
okay, okay.
when we had a screening in India, like in Mumbai, I was shooting, so I wasn't
Oh,
there.
okay, okay, okay.
But yeah, I so desperately want to watch the film because I'm hearing such good things about it, and I'm like, I haven't watched it yet, but yeah, I haven't watched the film, and so I really want to watch Maximilian Miyazaki whenever I get to watch.
For
But
sure.
yeah, I'm
It's a
very
great
happy.
watch. It's a
I'm
great
very
watch.
happy that you liked it, and I'm very happy that you enjoyed it, and I'm very happy that you made me a part of this interview. And thank you so much for that. I really
Thank you for coming on. I mean, it has been our pleasure for sure to get to know you and get to know more about the movie as well. Because I mean, we as jury, my partner Tino and I, we really loved it. That's why it won. And my girlfriend even really loved it. She gave it also, I think, 4.5 or 5 stars on Letterboxd. So she liked it a
wow,
lot as well. So.
wow, okay,
It was a good movie. It was a feel-good story, and and as we talked about, like you could root for people, and it's like
it talks,
yeah, it's lovely.
it talks about that. This is something that I always tell people when they ask me about Maximilian Miyazaki. I think it's a film that an 18-year-old and an 80-year-old can sit together in a room and watch it together.
Exactly, the generational story that is in there. It makes it perfect sense for that. And I mean, I cried. I think on 3 occasions, 2 or 3 occasions. So it is very moving.
Yeah. We
All
all
right.
tried doing the narration, so we can imagine when Paddy was when he was narrating, and like I'm crying and Siddharth is crying. So yeah, it happened to us like quite a few times. So I can
Yeah,
imagine.
yeah, good
Yeah,
stuff, good stuff, good stuff. But
thank
yeah, I'm happy to hear your judgment then when you finally saw the version. Or talk to Patty. He's gonna have a screener for you.
you. I hope so. I hope so. But yeah.
Yeah.
But thank you so much. This was really fun. This was really fun.
Glad you had a good time. Yeah, and I just want to give you the stage now for if you want to shout out people, friends, if you want to say something to the up and comers. I don't know. Is your stage? Take it away. Bring us home.
I I would want everybody out there to watch Maximilian Miyazaki and give it all the love. I think for me, the star of the film is Adil Hussain, which he has already interviewed this person, so that's great. But watch the film just to get an idea about life, relationships. It gives you. I mean, this film, the script kind of pushed me to consider therapy, and I did. It helped me, and I feel like I feel it'll help you as well, not just with therapy or mental health, but even like relationships. Like how to see them, and it gives a lot of moral message about a lot of stuff, especially to women. Whoever watches this film, you'll get to know when you watch it. So this is a film for everybody, and please watch it. And thank you so much for all the love that we've received so far for the film.
All right. Thank you so much,
Thank
and have
you.
a great day, people. Bye bye.
Bye. Bye.